All right, guys. I appreciate each and every single one of you who have supported the channel, watched the videos, liked, commented, subscribed, shared, and also have entertained all the different videos that I post that aren't just food shortages and empty shelves and just shortages in general, diesel fuel prices and all that hype, and possible diesel shortages and all the problems that can come from it. Also, talking about the Russia-Ukraine conflict that, has poured gasoline on the fire of this post-pandemic recovery that we're in the middle of. This is going to be another one of those videos. This is not about food shortages, even though depending on where you are, you may experience some. But then depending on if you're somewhere else, you have like a surplus. We've even seen instances, and Michelle can vouch for me on this. We've seen instances, not necessarily of just like food, but of Sam's Club and Target and Walmart and Costco even receiving massive amounts of deliveries and shipments on orders previously placed, maybe even 12 months ago, that are rolling in. So, the shortages in general and the empty shelves, they're going to be filled with various different items. Maybe not necessarily just food, but a lot of just back-ordered product that's showing up. But what I am hearing a lot of here recently is about buyer's remorse, particularly with real estate and home purchases. And I wanted to point something out that makes the real estate market a little bit different than other markets. And, today we saw the beginning of, a bear market trend with the S&P 500 opening at, I think it was 21% down from January and closing down as well. We are headed towards recession. We are seeing it in the market. The Fed, Jerome Powell, is continuously trying to slow and pretty much control inflation by increasing rates to try to bring these prices down. Now, I am hearing and seeing people sharing information about buyer's remorse when it comes to real estate, buying at the top of the market, buying during a housing market real estate bubble. And what I want to point out is the difference between the housing market and retail. So we've seen, and I've put up a video here recently about how Target and Walmart specifically are going to, and even Costco, I think Costco is on the list, they're going to be making some substantial changes because they are not seeing the profits that they expected and that they ultimately need to operate because of the flood of products coming in that they ordered months, years ago, and the new inflated prices making it so that consumers don't want to buy these things that they don't need. Now, housing is a necessity. And the difference between housing and the real estate market and the inflated prices and the higher interest rates making it more expensive per month for your monthly mortgage payment compared to 6 to 8 months ago when they were at their lows. The difference between the housing market and real estate, and the main reason why you really shouldn't have buyer's remorse if you bought here recently, is even though these are at high levels, the highest levels historically ever seen, the difference between the housing market, the real estate market, and what we see in the stores is that even if the rates continue to go up, which they will, we are already seeing anticipated 75 basis point hikes for the next increase, with more increases coming. But even as these prices continue to rise, the home's values will, in my opinion, remain. And the sales will still occur if you're looking to buy or if you're looking to sell. And you're not going to have to take a discount, a huge discount. You're not going to have to. And the main difference between that being a necessity and what we're seeing from Walmart, Target, Costco, these retailers having to cut their prices because of inflation is because they're getting flooded with non-necessary items that people don't want to buy. Versus real estate being a necessity, and even as the prices go up and the interest rates continue to go up to fight inflation, we're not going to see a flood, at least not enough of a flood to have enough of an impact on the real estate market to force a fire sale, so to speak, and force people to just start dumping properties, because the demand is still extremely high in comparison to the real estate that is available on the market or could potentially be available on the market. And with the uncertainty of the stock market, with the uncertainty of many of your jobs and careers and positions and your income and your salary and your savings, as everything's continuously costing more and you're losing left and right, you may see some pullback in purchase, but you also may see some pullback in sales because the next step is going to be more expensive. But hopefully, if you're in this position, hopefully you're not in this position, but if you are in a position where you need to make a move to get out of a property you can't afford because of a negative impact on your financial situation, do your best to work with the best real estate professional, realtor that you can find to get you the most money that you deserve for your property. Don't dump it. Don't be in a rush just to relieve yourself of the payment and possibly not even walk away with any equity or any cash from the sale. Do your best to sell for what it's worth. It may be a week on the market. It may be 2. It may be a month. But if you know that this is something that you need to do it sooner than later so you have the time to wait if needed for the right buyer to come along. Also, don't wait until the fall, winter season to do it, because it just completely changes the real estate market and the interest of people buying at that time or even looking at that time. So I don't think now really constitutes and qualifies and earns the right to say buyers should have buyer's remorse, because the housing market is completely different than everything else we're seeing in other commodities across the board, for the simple fact that it is a huge necessity, if not the most important. Besides food and water, shelter is going to be your most important necessity. And there won't be a flood of inventory, or at least there shouldn't be, because we don't have a pent-up supply of homes sitting at ports and docks and on ships waiting to be unloaded and delivered. We may have some new construction in the building phase, but that's a whole nother topic, because those homes may not ever get finished and never get COs to be occupied, closed on and occupied. So I don't really see how or why you should have buyer's remorse if you've bought recently, and I would not fear a huge dip and crash in the real estate market anytime soon.